everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on Sports Cards on the Rocks. Back again with some more Topps baseball, but this time we're going a little bit further back in time to 1986. I picked up a couple of boxes of 1986 Topps. The regular series is not the traded set, but I picked this up from Baseball Card Exchange. It has been authenticated, and it arrived in the mail today, so I'm excited to get into this box and get ripping these wax packs to see if we can pull some good Hall of Famers out of there. And tonight I will be partaking in a new riff, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. We've had it before on a couple of the previous videos, and we're continuing on with it because I haven't drank any of it except for during these card rips. So we're going to pour ourselves a nice little glass here, and I've got my whiskey stones, although they're not really stone-shaped. They're already chilled. I don't particularly like using ice to chill my bourbon. I either drink it neat or with whiskey stones. I just don't like the ice condensating and then also diluting the bourbon, so we will not be using ice. Much prefer the whiskey stones. Let's go ahead and get into our box here and see what we can pull. Delicately cut the cellophane with our X-Acto knife. And we got blue packs. I'm going to take them out of the box and set those aside over here. I did not look on the bottom to see what cards we got, but looks like we've got a Pete Rose on the bottom. Pete Rose there. Okay, let's move the box out of the way and start getting these packs. I'm not going to be eating the gum. I don't believe in putting 37-year-old gum in my mouth. Not really my thing. Seen lots of other people do it. And that gum left a nice little stain there. Let's get rid of that card. Let's flip these over. All right, starting us off is a Dickie Thon. Ooh, these are all going to be all messed up, aren't they? Hey, there's a Dwight Gooden. I'm going to set him aside. He's one of the guys they're going to be looking for. I've been looking up comps on these, and Dwight Gooden at a PSA 10 comps out around the $500. So that's definitely one we're going to be taking a closer look at and seeing if it's going to be grade worthy. And kind of going to go through these quickly because we got 36 packs to get into. All-Star, Willie McGee, All-Star, Dan Petrie, Sutton, and that'll do it for that pack. These cards, I forgot how thin and flimsy some of these older sets can be. I'm going to go ahead and get a sleeve for Mr. Gooden here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to, because these are kind of a lower quality paper stock, I have a little trick for making sure that the penny sleeves doesn't damage. Make a little slit right there by flicking it, and it goes in nice and smooth, and it doesn't catch. You don't really have to do it with these newer, like thicker, like 35 point chrome-ish type cards with the modern stuff. But with the older vintage stuff, you definitely need to flick that corner. There's a Terry Pendleton, Sundberg. Okay. Jeff Stone. There's an all-star card of Jeff Reardon. Okay, nothing going in that pack. All right, here we have a Don Mattingly All-Star. I didn't have this on my list of cards to look out for, but it is a Don Mattingly, and we're going to go ahead and sleeve him up because it's Don Mattingly. Why would we not? We'll put him in a separate special pile over there. Let's see, Tony Perez, record breaker, oldest player to hit a grand slam. All right, what else we got in here? That's the wrong Astros. We don't want that Astros player. We want the Nolan Ryan. Ooh, there's one we're looking for. The base Don Mattingly. One looks pretty decent. A little whitening around the edges, but you know, that's to be expected. Looked up comps on this one, and it's it can go for about $450. Now, if you're wondering how much I spent on these boxes, $100 a piece for these 1986 Topps baseball boxes off of Baseball Card Exchange. You can find them sometimes slightly cheaper on eBay. I think I have another box of these coming later this week that's supposed to arrive, and I think I paid about $86 with shipping. So you can get them cheaper, but usually the Baseball Card Exchange ones are a little bit there's a little bit more authentic. Well, it's not the authenticity, it's more of the probably better stored and kept over the years than the random stuff you get off of eBay. So that's why I prefer Baseball Card Exchange. Okay, so we have a George Brett All-Star. I didn't have this one on my radar. We'll put him in there in that pile. We'll maybe take a look at that later. What else do we have? Pirates leaders. Who is this? Pitching. That is Rick Rhoden. Okay, I don't know Rick Rhoden, but we're going to put him in a separate spot pile because that is another insert. I forgot to take a drink because we got the Don Mattingly and the Dwight Gooden. I sometimes forget my own rules that whenever we get a hit, we take a drink. It's really good bourbon. I really do enjoy this new Riff bourbon. It is pleasantly smooth, but full of flavor. I really like it, and it doesn't give you the dragon nostrils, the fire nostril breath that you sometimes get with higher proof liquor. And then we also need one for Don Mattingly. Okay. All right, we have a Reds. Oh, this is Pete Rose. This is an interesting Pete Rose card. I've not opened up 1986 Topps before, so these insert cards I'm not really familiar with. What I was mainly after was just the base cards. So I'll have to take a look at those later. They didn't really show up on my radar as being all that valuable, but that's a cool Pete Rose card. I mean, if you're a Pete Rose fan, I guess. I am particularly not a Pete Rose fan, although I don't really have anything against him. You know, there's the controversy surrounding him with when he finally admitted to betting on baseball. He got the lifetime ban and all that. But from what I understand, he bet on himself and is on his own team to win. And I don't really see anything wrong with that. But, you know, I don't make the rules. All right, Dave Schmidt, Charlie Moore, Ernie Witt, Manny Trillo, Juan Beniquez, Dave Winfield. Was not on my list. Pedro Guerrero. I'll put him in the all-star list. Reds leaders. This is Dave Concepcion. Okay. Record breaker, another Tony Perez. I didn't make a separate pile for the record breakers. Oh well. Put them up over here. I think the only other record breaker I had was another Tony Perez. So I've hit 2 of those Tony Perez's. But you know what I'm thinking? If I can hit two Tony Perez record breaker cards in the same box, I can get 2 Nolan Ryans out of the same box. I think that's more than reasonable, right? I think so. Larry Sorensen. There's a Reggie Jackson. I'm going to put him right there. I'll look him up later. That's the wrong Astros. Frank Pastore. Rick Shue? Rick Shue? I don't like that these are flipped all around. In 1987, they were all the same way. Didn't have to do a lot of flipping. Bob Gritch. So 2 cards that we're not going to see in this set are going to be the Barry Bonds rookie cards and the Bo Jackson rookie cards. Those will be in the traded set. I did not pick up a traded set because those are really the only 2 players going after for this year in the traded set. So I don't know if I found them from the right price, I'd probably go for it. But as of right now, I'm gonna hold off on buying any 1986 traded sets. The only I did pull 1 or 2 Bo Jacksons out of the 87, and then I pulled 1 out of the 88. But really, the for me, what I would like to have is to get a PSA 10 1990 score, or is it 91 score? Bo Jackson football of when that iconic pose that he did with the shoulder pads and the baseball bat over his shoulders in the black and white. I would really like to get my hands on one of those. I never did pull one of those as a kid. There's a base Tony Perez, but that's the one that had the see the gum residue. Lasky. There's a record breaker. This is Keith Hernandez, most game-winning RBI season. Okay. Dave Stewart, Chris Brown, Tim Hewlett. There's a record or NL All-Star Willie McGee. Let's go from this pile. All right, John Candelaria. Make sure I get the glare off of there. Bill Buckner, Steve Sachs. There's another Pete Rose. It's a different Pete Rose. The number 2 card. Mark Thurmond. There's a Wade Boggs, and we're gonna sleeve up Wade Boggs. That was one of the ones that we had on our list, and a PSA 10. This goes for about $100. We'll put him there, and we'll consider that a hit. We'll take a drink. I may run out of bourbon before this box opening is done. Carlton Fisk. I'm going to put him in the maybe category. Carlton Fisk. Hall of Famer. Wasn't on my list, but we'll look him up later. Blue Jays leaders. That is Jim Clancy, Dean of the Blue Jays. Put him in that pile. We have a record breaker. Oh, I saw the number 34 and I got really excited. It's not Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan played for the Astros in 1986. Well, my heart did a little flutter. Got a little excited there. And that's not just the bourbon. I don't think it was. You can see the dust from the from the bubble gum. Wrong Astro pitcher. Is there another card behind? There is a card behind there. Barry Bonnell, Ed Romero, Lynn Dykstra. This is Lynn Dykstra's rookie year, or rookie card. Wasn't exactly his rookie year, but it is his rookie card. We're gonna put him in his in the maybe pile. Dodgers leaders. Who is this? Is that Kirk Gibbs? No, Bill Russell. Okay. Wrong Astros pitcher. We've gotten several Astros pitchers so far, just not the right one. So far, I'm pretty pleased with the condition of the cards. They're well centered. I don't see a whole lot of edge wear or corner dings, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But so far, I'm liking what I see. I think there's a Ricky Henderson there. Tommy Lasorda. No, it's Dwayne Murphy. Okay. Not Ricky Henderson. That's right. Ricky Henderson was on the Yankees in 1986, not the A's. Okay, I think we're about halfway through these packs. 36 packs is a lot to rip through. It is an awful lot. I feel like I should be done by now. Another wrong Astros pitcher. Another wrong Astros pitcher. We're getting the whole bullpen for the Astros except for the one that really matters. Really would like to get my hands on a. I mean, I have one. I have a 1986 Nolan Ryan already, but I got it in. How did I come about getting that? I think maybe I picked one up at a card show, and then another one from a Facebook Marketplace pickup. Another Pete Rose. That's number 4 in that series. Oh man, that's the same portrait style as the Nolan Ryan. Good lord. Oh my gosh. Okay, such a tease. Brett Saberhagen, Steve Henderson, RJ Reynolds. Twins leaders. Who's the Twins leader? Mickey Hatcher. This is Robin Yount. He's a Hall of Famer. We'll put him in the maybe. I looked up a bunch of these cards from the set and ran some comps on them on 130point.com to see what the PSA 10s were going for. And Robin Yount was on the list of more valuable cards, at least in the top 25, I think. But it wasn't that high up in the list. He was pretty far down low. I just don't remember off the top of my head what exactly his PSA 10 variants are going for. Okay, what's this pack got for us? Giants leaders. Who's this guy? Greg Minton. Okay. Nothing in there. Rangers. Bert Hooton. Ken Daly. Dan Quisenberry. Mariners. Dave Henderson. That's the wrong Oriole. And that is another, that's an Andre Dawson for the Expos. Currently known as the Washington Nationals. As of the 2005 season. I think it's ironic how a Canadian team became the Washington Nationals. No, I saw that Orioles and I thought maybe that was a Cal Ripken. Jim Dwyer. Mike Flanagan. Sid Fernandez. Okay, we've been dry for a little while. We need to get our beak wet. Little too dry lately. Oh, and the other, I just had a thought. I think one of the other prominent cards of the traded set is the Jose Canseco. I think he's in the traded set as well, along with Barry Bonds and Bo Jackson. There's an all-star. I got that in the wrong pile. So yeah, to go down the list of who we're looking for, we're of course looking for the Nolan Ryan. And then we're going to be looking for Eric Davis, Ryan Sandberg, Pete Rose, Ricky Henderson, the Don Mattingly, which we already got, and Roger Clemens, Kirby Puckett, Cecil Fielder, George Brett, Mike Schmidt, Ozzie Smith, Tony Gwynn, Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, which we already got a Dwight Gooden, and Cal Ripken Jr., Wade Boggs, and we got the Wade Boggs. So we got 3 off of our checklist. Why does this card seem so thick? That's because there's a card stuck behind it. Whitey Herzog. Hey, there's a Mike Schmidt. I guess we broke our dry spell. Flick the corner of here. Let's leave him up. And we finally get to take a drink. Guess what we could do is start building the gallery. Move this bottle over. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start building the gallery so we can get a nice, good glare and reflection. To move this up a little bit. There we go. Just have to stagger them, I guess, to avoid the glare. I really should invest in some better lighting. But for now, this is all I've got. I should get one of those ring lights. All right, let's continue with the pack. Gary Maddox. That's the wrong Maddox. I think the Greg Maddox rookie, is that 84? Yeah, I think 84 was Greg Maddox's rookie year. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. Ooh, it's one of the greatest mustaches in all of baseball. Dennis Eckersley. Although his mustache got even better when he went to the Oakland Athletics. All-Star. All right. I feel a good card coming up soon. I can feel it. There's the, yep, there it is, the Ryan Sandberg. I told you.
Nani?
I said I'm feeling it. Whoa, missed. Okay, this is a delicate process apparently. It's Ryan Sandberg. We'll make some room for him, I guess. It's getting crowded up in the gallery here. Ryan Sandberg's comping out. Well, actually, you know what? I couldn't find a recent. Could not find a recent comp of Ryan Sandberg. And holy cow! Look at all these fibers. Scoop these off here. Get my trusty centering tool as a straight edge and scrape some of this card fibers off. Little mid-rip cleanup there. Okay. Back to the pack. What else we got in here? Yeah, I think the last one I saw sold like way back in 2021 in the PSA 10, so I honestly have not seen any come up for sale in a long time. I don't really have a comp on the Ryan Sandberg, and I don't recall what the last one sold for back in 2021, you know, at the height of COVID madness. Steve Sachs. There's a Pete Rose. Pete Rose was on our list. This is not going to gem out. Not with that centering. Not even close. Centering's pretty far off. Is this the number? Oh, this isn't even the... No, this isn't the right one either. Yeah, we want the number 1 card. This is 741. We want just number 1. That's not even the right Pete Rose. Not even the right one, so I'm not even going to take a drink to that one. Another Pete Rose. On our pile with all the other ones. Randy Bush. Sammy Khalifa. Checklist. Turn back the clock. I don't think we've got any turn back the clocks yet. I think that is our first one. That one is of Fernando Valenzuela. Reed Nichols, David Green. And then there's the Pete Rose, and that's number 5. Do we have all 5 of them now? Or is there more than 5? We've got 1, 2. Oh, we're missing number 3. Oh, that's 7. Never mind. We've got 2, 4, 5, 7. Apparently there's a lot of those in this set. And then there's a number 741 Pete Rose, and there's a number 1 Pete Rose. Cal Ripken All-Star. Oh, I didn't break it. These are tough. There we go. Take a look at that centering again. Left to right looks pretty good. Top to bottom's a little off though. Otherwise not bad. There's not any ink splotching on the white border, so that's usually a common little defect that you'll see. Another Pete Rose. This is number 3. Hey, we were missing number 3. Another turn back clock of Fernando Valenzuela. Brian Smith. Okay. All right, let's just finish off this pile here. Greg Brock leading us off for this pack. Candy Maldonado. Tom Herr All-Star. 85 record breakers of... Oh, we've already got one of those. That's Keith Hernandez. Most game-winning RBI in a season. Seven packs left, including this one. Van Spillner, Dennis Boyd, another Pete Rose, that's number 7. It's a duplicate. Darryl Motley, All-Star, George Bell. Jim Wynn, Lloyd Mosby. Bobby Valentine. See, we got Dave Concepcion. I need to make another pile here pretty soon. Got a record breaker of Phil Niekro. Greg Pryor. Alan Wiggins and Al Bumdry. Okay. Last of this stack. We've got 8 packs after this. John Davis. Wrong Astro. Hey, there's an Ozzie Smith. He is on our list of cards of guys to keep an eye out for. All right, let's take a look at the centering on this one. We've got left to right looks pretty good, but once again, the top to bottom is really narrow on top. And I'm seeing that actually across a lot of these cards in this set, in this particular box. Yeah, there's a little bit of damage right up there. Left corner is not great, or top right corner is not great either. Bottom corners look good though. Go ahead and get Mr. Ozzie up in the gallery. But at least, hey, we get to drink to Ozzie Smith. Last sold comp I think I had on Ozzie Smith was about $230 at a PSA 10. That's not a PSA 10. That might get a 7. Which means I won't be sending that off, and I'll just stick him aside in a my vintage baseball box. Hey, there's a Pete Rose Record Breakers. Bobby Brown. Jeff Son. Hey, there's George Brett. There we go. That's 2 packs in a row. 2 packs in a row we've gotten the Hall of Famer. Centering left to right is good, but once again, we're a little thin on top. Corners and edges look better than the Ozzie Smith do, but not minty enough for me to be comfortable with submitting it. So I don't know. I'll have to get that one a second look, and I might be able to do some cleanup on it. Whoa. There we go. Might be able to do a little bit of cleanup on it with a certain card kit, a card care kit that I purchased from a gentleman who does some great work on YouTube showing how to clean up some vintage cards. And not just vintage, modern too. Shout out to Kurt's Card Care. There's a Cal Ripken on the back. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clean that one up. Oh, man. There's a Ricky Henderson All-Star. Okay, so we've got 2 Hall of Famers in 1 pack. How many more do we have? Kurt Gibson, that's another Hall of Famer. Dave Henderson. Was Dave Henderson ever in the Hall of Fame? Hey Siri. Was Dave Henderson in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
From baseballreference.com, Dave Henderson has not been elected into the Hall of Fame.
All right. Sorry, Dave. Ozzie Smith All-Star. So there's another Hall of Famer. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 Hall of Famers in 1 pack. Ink dot right there. Of course, you can see that that corner's all dinged up. That's unfortunate. His cards are old. They're nearly as old as I am. Nearly. Not quite, but nearly. We're not going to put the Ricky Henderson All-Star in the gallery. He's just going to go over here with his other All-Star buddies, and you know, the top to bottom centering looks a lot better on this one than some of these other cards. Left to right, it's a little heavier on the left than it is the right, but it's within the 60-40 margins allowable under the PSA guidelines. That corner's not great up there. Not sure if you can tell. Not perfect, but it was the last card in the pack, or it was the front card in the pack, so it got the gum treatment. Yeah, it's oof. I have no idea how you would even clean that. I'm gonna go ahead and sleeve it anyways, just in case maybe it is cleanable. I'm gonna have to watch. Hopefully, Kurt's got some tutorial videos on how to clean gum stains. Honestly, I don't have high hopes that it'll be salvageable, but you know, we'll hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And by preparing for the worst, it's just going to go in a box. It'll just go in a box and probably get put into a closet somewhere in my house. All right, Max Venable leading us off. George Bell, All-Star. Hey, there's a Roger Clemens. We're going to set that aside. We'll take a look at him in a second. He was on our list. Bob Knepper. I don't know if the K is silent. Dawkins. I think the Roger Clemens. I don't think any have sold recently. Ooh, the center is not great top to bottom at all. Yeah. There's just almost no margins between the lettering of Red Sox and the border of the card. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Not a Hall of Famer. I think we all know why. A lot of people argue for him being in the Hall, because he was just trying to keep up with the heavy hitters who were abusing the Peds. So he used him himself and got caught. All right, Jeff Zahn. Roger Craig. Dave Winfield, All-Star. Tony Gwynn, that's one on our list. Tony Gwynn, let me check my sheet over here. Tony Gwynn, if it comes out at a PSA 10, recents have sold for about $400. I don't think this is a 10. It's got a little ding in the corner. Right up there. Oh, focus, camera. Focus. Come on. Bring it back in. You know what it could do, though? There we go. Does that even help? I don't think that helps much. All right, but we've got an easel. We can put him up on over here. There we go. It's covering up Ozzy, though. Oh, I still have a few cards left in this pack. Oh, and I need to take a drink. Tony Gwynn. Man, that's good. All right, Troy Smalley, Tom Brunonsky. Any Vance like? Okay. We've got just 4 packs left, and then we're done ripping the first box of 1986 Topps Baseball. But we will do the second box in another video. We're not going to do it tonight. I think ripping one of these is about as far as I can go to ripping vintage wax. And yes, I said vintage, not junk, because I don't consider 1986 to be part of the junk wax era. I'll count that as 1987 and beyond. 86, not quite as mass produced as some of the preceding years. Steve Trout, is that Mike Trout's dad? I honestly don't even know. All right, 3 packs to go. No Nolan Ryans yet. Larry Herndon. Gross. Ken Griffey. There's senior. Forgot he played for the Yankees. Oh, that's right. He was released from the Yankees in '89 and then went to the Mariners. He played left field and Junior played center field. All right, starting off with Gary Carter, NL All-Star. And then there's another 85 record breaker of Fernando Valenzuela. And we have a Carlton Fisk All-Star, American League, and another All-Star, Brett Saberhagen. Getting all the All-Stars here. Hey, there's the #1 Pete Rose. That's one that we're looking for. It's got a nice little ding up there at the top. Okay, the margins are a little bit better, top to bottom, though. Much better. These cards are so hard to get in mint condition. So hard. Yep, that is the #1 Pete Rose. I'm gonna bring these in. Something like that. All right, last. Oh, wait, we're not done with this pack yet. Still could pull something out of here. And no, we're not. Okay, last pack. Here we go. Come on, give us the Ryan Express. Please, oh please, oh please. In mint condition. Gym mint condition. All right, Tony La Russa for the White Sox manager. Scott Thompson. Glenn Cook. Steve Crawford. Dwight Gooden, National League All-Star. Pedro Guerrero, National League All-Star. Jose Uribe, the Giants. Atlanta Braves, we have Bobby Wine, managing. Ozzie Guillen for the White Sox. Ricky Henderson. Hey, that is a good card to hit right there. Edging is not great on this, but might be able to clean it up. Wait, did we already hit a Ricky Henderson? No, we hit Don Mattingly. Ricky Henderson. I'm out of easels. I have to dethrone someone. Take away Pete Rose. He's technically not in the Hall of Fame. Put Ricky Henderson up there. Let's take a look. Okay, centering's a lot better on this one. Centering is actually fantastic. There's some whitening a little bit there. A little bit on the edge. Actually, those might be card fibers. That might just be paper fiber, actually. Back centering is, it's good enough. I think you're allowed like 80-20 for a PSA 10 on the back. So, not bad at all. I like that card. I like that one. All right, so that's a good hit. Let's see. It was last one that I saw sold for around $400 on a PSA 10 condition. So I don't think that's going to get a 10, but you know, comes the breaks sometimes. Seems like that's. I don't think there's any Gem Mint 10 condition cards in this whole box. All right, there's Chris Spear, Bill Gullickson, Daryl Strawberry, another one we're looking for, and then ending with a Harold Baines with the bubblegum stain on the back. Daryl Strawberry. All right. Two pretty big hits in the last pack. Daryl Strawberry. None have. I couldn't find any recent comps on them, but you know, Daryl Strawberry is it's always a desirable card to have in this year. I would guesstimate in the PSA 10 condition probably maybe $125 to $175. Pretty decent. There's a little whitening up here, but that might just be the fibers. Centering's pretty good, left to right. Top to bottom actually looks really great too. I can just get the glare to go away. Yeah, like that. Okay. All right, we'll put him aside over here, and we'll take a recap. Let me grab all of these off our easel, and then see what we got, and briefly check the condition on them. Whoops. Just drop the most valuable card out of the whole box. All right, so starting us off is the Mike Schmidt. The Mike Schmidt looks pretty decent. There's a little bit ding on a corner over there. That won't gem. Centering on the back is not great, but yeah, that's actually pretty bad on the back, and it's off. You can tell how it's thinner up here. Then as you go down, it's a little bit thicker. So it was kind of off cantered a little bit. Yeah, you can tell it's not level on the bordering, so that's not going to get submitted. The Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs looks pretty decent. It's a little bit heavier on the left than the right. It's a little whitening on top. Margins from top to bottom are better than some of the other cards that we've seen in out of this box. Overall, not bad. Pretty bad centering on the back, left to right. That's probably not going to go off to PSA. But I also have very strict standards myself, so if I don't just throw cards at PSA and basically throwing crap at the wall to see what sticks. So I take my time and I evaluate the cards. I go over them pretty meticulously, and so that way I'm not wasting money on grading fees. When I know I'm not going to make my money back after the grading, the insurance, and the shipping. So just some of my personal standards. All right, this Don Mattingly. Centering's pretty decent. It's a little bit heavier on the left. Top to bottom centering's not terrible. It's a little heavier on the bottom. There's a little bit of ding up there in the corner, and a little bit of ding over here on this corner, and some whitening on the edges. I'll have to take a look at that. I may be able to clean that up. And on the back side, really thick, though it doesn't look as off. It doesn't look tilted like some of the other ones. That's still pretty bad centering on the back. Dwight Gooden, centering is a little heavier on the right. Little ding in the top and top left and right corner. Bottom corners look pretty good. Edges actually look pretty fantastic for this year. I like this card. I might be able to fix those corners. We'll have to see. See the little bit of ding down here on this, down here too. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We got Ryan Sandberg, centering a bit heavier on the right than left. I think that's out of the 60-40 margins on that one. Already that's just on the centering alone. It's not going to gem. There's also some ink dots right there. And centering on the back is completely awful. Very terrible. Ozzie Smith, dings top corners, whitening on edges, a little bit of edge damage there. Centering on the left and right, not bad. Top and bottom centering, not good. Back centering is better. I think that might be probably the best we've seen so far. And George Brett, there's an ink dot right there in the O, in the upper left part of the O. You can see that. The corners look fairly decent. Probably the best corners I've seen so far. A little bit of whitening, but that could just be the fibers. Maybe the little fiber there. I'm not sure what that little white dot is between the L and the S. On the back, oh, that's really bad on the back. And that is like razor thin on the left centering there. Yeah, that's really, really thin. Yeah, so that's going to stay here with me. Don Madeline's, or I'm sorry, Kurt Gibson's going to stay. That corner, I don't think that corner is fixable. There's a huge ink. That's not even ink dot. That just didn't get. It just didn't even get any ink there. Okay. On the back, not terrible. Tony Gwynn, got that ding up there in the upper left corner. Centering's pretty decent, except for top to bottom. There's just no margin up there at the top. Plenty of margins down here at the bottom. But left to right centering's pretty good. On the backside centering's actually really good. That's actually really, really good. That's the best I've seen. Ricky Henderson, some edge wear, right side, left side at the top, and then on the top. Centering's pretty good. That's within 60-40. And I don't know, I might hope for a 9 on this one. Top to bottom centering is probably the best so far. Backside centering, it's tilted. I don't know how that grades though. I've just not. I don't think I've graded any cards where the printing was just tilted. I might submit that one. I'm gonna put him over in another pile. The possible submission candidates. The Daryl Strawberry, some edging going on up there. Maybe a little bit soft corner on the right. The other corners look pretty good. Centering slightly heavier on the left than on the right, but it's within the margins. Top to bottom centering is actually really good that I've seen so far, and back centering is pretty. That's excellent, I'd say. So Daryl Strawberry is going to go off into the possible submission. The Pete Rose, I don't know what I can do about that one. So that chunk just missing there, that's. I don't know if that. I don't think that's. Yeah, that's just damage. It's not something that's on the card. It's just damage. So that's just going to be a no right off the bat, which is unfortunate. I mean, that's a fairly valuable card in a PSA 10. I mean, it's close to a $600 card. The Roger Clemens, I mean, there's just no centering on the top to bottom. I mean, it's so bad. It is so bad. Left to right's not too bad. Backside's not great either. It's pretty razor thin over here. The Cal Ripken, yeah, we know what's going on with the Cal Ripken. It looks pretty good on the front. You know, the corners, maybe a little ding up there, a little ding up there. Not nothing too major. But bubble gum right across the back of the card. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be able to clean it up. Maybe I will. Maybe I can by applying some moisture and then using a swab stick or something like that. But anyways, overall, I mean, I like 1986. The design is pretty classic. I'm not a fan of the inserts. I'm not really ever a fan of vintage inserts, but yeah, not definitely not in the 1986 series. But we'll get into the next box in another episode, and we will look forward to that. And I just want to say thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please do leave us a like on this video and then subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get notified of future videos, just go ahead and hit that little bell button. Just go ahead and give it a little ring. Give it a little ring a ding. All right, thank you so much again, and stay safe, stay healthy. See you all in the next video.